Zachary lists some different methods he thinks he can use to solve the multiplication problem shown. 8 times 4. Which of these is not a method Zachary can use to get the correct answer? So boys and girls, we're going to look at each answer one by one. Let's start with A. So A, boys and girls, what strategy is this? If you said an array, you're right. So how many rows do we have? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we have 4 rows. So let's write that over here. 4 rows. How many columns do we have? Well, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 columns. So, boys and girls, 8 times 4 and 4 times 8 is the same thing. So A is a possibility. But since we're responsible mathematicians, we're going to see what B looks like for this equation. B says 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. What is this an example of? Did you say skip counting? If you did, you're correct. What are we counting by? Let's see. We're counting by 4s. So if we're counting by 4s, how many times do we skip count? Well, let's see. 1 group of 4 is 4. 2 groups of 4 is 8. 3 groups of 4 is 12. 4 groups of 4 is 16. 5 groups of 4 is 20. 6 groups of 4 is 24. 7 groups of 4 is 28. And 8 groups of 4 is 32. So, we know since our equation is 8 times 4, that we would be skip counting 8 times and that we would be skip counting by 4. So could this possibly work? Yes, because it matches our equation, right? Well, we're responsible mathematicians, so we're going to see what what letter C says. C says 8 times 8 times 8 times 8. Well, what would that look like? Is this repeated addition? No. Is this an array? No. Is it a number line? No. Well, let's see. 8 times 8 times 8 times 8. Oh my goodness. So, is 8 times 4, our equation, the same thing as 8 times 8 times 8 times 8? It's not the same. So if it's not the same, does that mean that we could use C for our equation 8 times 4? No. Don't forget, the question is asking us, which of these is not method that Zachary can use? C is not a method that we can use. But we're going to keep going, and we're going to check D. So if we look over here at D, we have a number line, boys and girls. So our number line starts at 0, and it ends at 4. Well, if we look up here at 8 times 4, we know that we need 8 equal groups. So if we have 8 equal groups, that means we're going to have 8 equal jumps. Let's see if we have 8 equal jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we do have 8 equal jumps, and we know from skip counting earlier that we will land at 32. And if we look at our number line, we see that it ends at 32. And we also see that there are 4 in each group. If you look at the number line, it counts by 2. So 2, 4, 6, 8, and so on. Our first jump lands on 4. Our second jump lands on 8. Does this look familiar, boys and girls? Our third jump lands on 12. Well, if you look back at our skip counting on letter B, our first jump landed on 4. Our second jump landed on 8. Our third jump landed on 12. So, boys and girls, Do our number line match our equation 8 times 4? Yes, it does. So the correct answer is C.